Howdy folks. I figure we'll get started on the puzzle a little bit earlier in the day. Last night I think I was late. Let's see what we've got today. We've got a hard puzzle. Okay, so I'm kind of looking at the layout of the puzzle. I notice this center cube here is completely empty. The outer two cubes, this diagonal, only have two numbers. Now I like this line here, because you can see we have a 5 and a 6, and so that'll tell us what these two numbers are because of this line. And look at that, we've got a 5, so automatically because of that line we've got these, and now we know what these three numbers are. We know we're missing a 1, a 2, and a 7, and look at that, we've got a 2 and a 7, so that makes this be our 1, makes this be a 2 and a 7, makes this 2 and a 7. So I like those. Same thing down here. We have a 2, 6, and a 9 that go right through here. Of course, we have a 6 and a 2 already. So we have a 9 that's going to be down here. Okay, so that's handy. Not as handy as the top one. That was really nice of them to help us out there. Let's see what else we have. We have a 5 that comes through here. I'm looking for patterns. 1s are great. 1 in the left column, center column, and bottom row. So we now have a 1 there. We have a 1 in the center row and the bottom row and the center column. Only one spot left for our 1 there. And of course we have pairs, double pairs for the center, left and right column, bottom and top row. There we go. All of our 1s are now done for the puzzle. That was very helpful of them. Now I noticed this 5 says there can't be any other 5s here in this cube. I was just looking at this row that's missing a 5. And I saw this 5 and this 5, so I'm going to use those as kind of stretchy pairs, but 5 can't go here, 5 can't go in any of these 3 spots. That's the only spot left for our 5 right there. Okay, that is handy dandy. Now this 9 says you can't have a 9 here, and this 9 says you can't have a 9 here, so one of these two is our 9. Alright. Okay, I'm doing a little bit of a stretch here. Let's look at this row for a second here. We've got a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5. We need a 6, and it can't be here in the middle, so we have to go above and below. We need a 7, we need an 8, and an 8 can't be here, so both of our 8's got to be down here. And then we need a 9, and there's nothing vertically to help us here. Nothing vertically to help us here, but we do have a ghost row, this 9 here. No matter which one of these is 9, this cannot be a 9. So that will fill out that column nice and neatly. Okay, very good. So now we've got 3 numbers missing here. Anywhere where there's only 3 or fewer numbers, I always like to look and see what's missing. We've got a 1, we've got our 2, we need a 3, and there's nothing to eliminate those just yet. We need a 4. Now I do have a 4 here, and I have a 4 here. So this one is the only spot left for a 4. So I know one of these two is a 3, and then we have a 4, 5, 6, and we're missing a 7. Well, you can't have a 7 in this cube, so our 7 goes here, which only leaves this spot left for our 3. Okay. What did I do wrong there? Not a 7. Not a 7. Let me back up there. We've got our 7 already. Woo! I almost got myself in a twist there. We're missing a 2 and a... No, there's our 2. 3. 3 and a 9. Okay, I might need a nap, folks. A 3 and a 9, and we have a 9 here that says you can't have a 9 here. See, I would have just boogered that all up, putting that 3 there, because that 3 needs to go there. Whoa, whoa, woo! Good thing we can erase and back up a little bit. All right. I notice that this 4 and this 4 help us out. 4 in the middle, 4 in the left. Only spot left for a 4 here. And now I see we've got 2 4s across the middle and the bottom, and the left and the center. Only spot left for a 4 is here in the top right corner. Then we've got a 4 in the left, 4 down the right, and bottom and middle. Only spot left. Now our 4s are complete in the puzzle, which is very nice. Thank you, Mr. Puzzle. We do appreciate that. Okay, we've got 3 numbers missing here. Let's take a look at those carefully. Alright, so we've got a 1. We need a 2, and it can't be here. One of these two have to be a 2. Let's mark that. 2, 2, 2, 2 to help me out. And I'm going to mark this one because going horizontally with the row, that's where our 2 is. We need a 3. Well, of course, the 3 can't be here, and so our 3 has to be here. 4, 5, 6, 7, and we need an 8. Now, of course, we have an 8 that goes across here. This is the only spot left to be an 8, which now means this is the only spot left to be a 2, and this is the only spot left to be a 3. And then we'll clean up our pencil marks there. Okay, there we go. Now we've got 2 numbers missing here. Looks like a 5 and a 6, and we have a helpful 6 down here, which means here's our 6 and here's our 5. So we've got 2 numbers missing here. Looks like a 2 and a 7, kind of like this 2 and 7. There we go, 2, 7, and a 2 and a 7. All right, well, those are very nice. Now we just put a bunch of numbers up here, so now we need to kind of look down and see how they pair out. We've got the 1s, 1, 1, 1. We've got the 2s, 2, 2, 2. We got the 4, 4, 4s. What about the 8s? So I have an 8 down the left, 8 down the right. Very good. 8 has to go in the top. That is nice. Let's see, what else do we have that we can pair off of this? We have a 6 and a 6. Well, we got 2 numbers here. Let's look at those really quick. 1, 2. We need a 3. 4, 5, 6, 7. We need a 3 and a 7. 3 and a 7. 3 and a 7. Those are now double locked. We love that. So now here in this cube, 1, 2, 3, 4. We need a 5. Now 5 can go in any one of those at the moment. We need a 6. Well, we have a 6 down here on the right, so we know the 6 has to be in the left. We've got our 7, we've got an 8, and now we need a 9. And a 9 can go in any one of those 3, just like our 5. So we're just going to leave them there for just a moment, and that is okay. All right, now I do notice our 8 comes across the top, 8 comes across the bottom, and we do have an 8 down the left column. So 8 only can go here. All right, now we have an 8 down the right side. One of these two have to be our 8 in this particular cube. Let's see what else we've got. Okay, we've got 3 numbers here missing. 1, 2, now we need a 3, and it can't be here because of the 3 here. 4, now we need a 5, and it can't be in these bottom 2 rows, so the 5 has to go across the top. 6, now we need a 7. Now a 7 cannot go on this left one, so 7, and we see how we have the 7 that goes here, so actually we can do a 7 here and a 7 here. So this row is done, and we know the 7 has to be down here, okay, because that's the only place that it can go. All right, so that's this row. That's the row we were working on. Let me look at this cube here for just a moment. 1, 2, now we have a 3 down the right column, so we know the 3 has to be the one of these 2 on the left. 4, we've got 1, 5, 2, 5. 5's up here. 6, we've got the 7s, we've got the 8, we got the 9s. Okay, so this completely is marked out. Okay, we've got a 9 here, we've got a possible 9 here. All right, okay, so we've got 3 numbers missing here. We've got a 2 and a 3 and a 7. A 2, a 3, and a 7. Okay, that's not very helpful, so we're just going to kind of ignore that for just a moment. Okay, we do have a 6 that comes across here, so one of these 2 have to be our 6. 1, 2. We have a 3 that comes down, so 3 has to go here. 4, 5. We've got our 6 marked. 7. Okay, and then 8 comes down, and 8 comes down, so here's our 8. 9 comes down, and 9 comes over here. Okay, let's see what else we have. We have a 5 and a 5, which means our 5 has to be here in the top. 1, no 2 here, no 2 here, so 2 has to be a, not a 3, a 2, or a 2. There we go. our 3, 4, we've got the 5, what about a 6? No 6 on the right side. Okay, let's look at this center cube here. Let's see what that can help us out with. I'm seeing we've got 1, 2s can pretty much go anywhere. 3s, we do have a 3 on the left. 4, 5s, 6s, got to be in the center. 7s, 8s, and 9. I was kind of hoping that to be a little bit more helpful for me. It's not helping me out a whole lot. Okay, so let's see. Let's see what we have left here. Okay, so we know we're missing a 5, a 7, and a 9. We've got a 7 here, so that means this one here could be a 5 or a 9. Okay, so now that column is done out. But we also know that it could be a 5 or a 9 over here. So let me just throw those in there. 5 and a 9, 5 and a 9. Okay, so now this cube is fully marked out. This cube is fully marked out. These two cubes are fully marked out. Alright, so I don't like marking a bunch of numbers, but I need to do it because my brain is having a hard time seeing it. So let's just mark it out, shall we? Be prepared, it's going to get ugly quick. So there's our 1. So if we look at what a 2 is, this is the only 2 I've got right now to eliminate anything. Because vertically I've got a possibility of a 2 and then a possibility of a 2. So that is not going to help me. So I'm going to put 2 here and a here and a here and a here and a here because all of those could be 2s. Alright, I need a possibility of a 3 and the only eliminator I have here is on the left side here. So we've got a possibility of a 3 and a 3 and a 3. We've got our 4. We have a 5 in the right and the center, so possibility of a 5 down this side. Now we have our 6 already marked out. Now a 7 comes across the top. That's the only 7 that I have. So 7, 7, 7, 7. Alright, and then there's our 8, and then we have a 9 down the right side and through the center. So the 9 is going to be on the left side here. Okay. Alright, so that cube, even though it's ugly and there's lots of numbers, is fully marked out. Okay, so let's look at this one. We've got a 1, we've got our 2, 3. Okay, so we've got 3, 3, 3, 3. We've got our 4, we've got our 5. Okay, and then the 6 can go anywhere but this right column. So I need to add a 6 here and here, 7, 8, and then we need to add some 9s, and the only place a 9 cannot go is the center column. So we can put a, oh, there's already a 9 there. That's great. Okay, and then we can add a 9 here and add a 9 here. Okay, so now that cube is fully marked out. Okay. Very good. Is it helpful? I don't know. Let's look at these last 2 cubes here. We've got a 1, we've got a 2, 3 cannot be in this left column. 3, 3, 3, 4, 5. We need a 6 and it can't be across here, so we've got our 6 already marked. 7 can't be in the left. It can be any one of these. So 7, 7, 7. We need an 8. We've got our 8 marked over here, and then we've got our 9 marked. Okay, and that's everything. So that is fully marked out. All right, last cube. 1. All right, and then we've got our 2 marked out here. Now 3 looks like it can go anywhere. Can it go here? Yes. Can it go here? Yes, yes, yes. 4, 5, 6. Now we need a 7, and it looks like a 7 can go anywhere. I don't have anything that can eliminate it. So we have a 7 there already. 7, 7, 7. Then we need an 8, and we do have an 8 that comes across and then down. So 8 has to be one of these two, which it's marked already, and 9. So there we have it, folks. The entire puzzle is marked out. Now I just have to sort through it and see what catches my eyes here, looking for some patterns of elimination. Let's see here. I don't know why my mind is going to this 5 and 9 here, because either way it's going to be the other one here. And see this 5 and 9 and 5 and 9. I wonder how that's going to affect these. I'm going to grab my little pencil out here for just a moment, and I'm going to try it one way. I'm going to put this top number as a 5 just for giggles. So if that top number is a 5, okay, then the two on the left are going to be a 6 and a 9. Okay, so that means the bottom one is going to have to be a 3, and that's going to have to be a 5. That's going to have to be a 7, and that's going to have to be a 9. Okay, now that does work. So now let me flop that just for giggles. So let me put a 9 there, and if that's a 9, then that's going to be a 5 and a 6. Okay, and if that's a 5 and a 6, that makes this a 3, makes this a 9, makes this a 7, makes this a 5. Okay, now that works. Do you folks, do you see it? Do you see what I'm missing? I'm wondering about these 2s and 7s. You know, this 3 and a 7 and a 2 and a 7, maybe. There is something that I am missing here. If that's a 5 and a 7, that would make that a 3. And if that's a 3 and a 5, that would make that a 7. 2. Okay, so if I did, I'm going to extend that out just a smidgen there. So if I do that as a 5, okay, then that's going to be a 7, that's going to be a 9, that's going to be a 3, that's going to be a 5. Okay, and if that's a 3 and a 9, and that's a 5 and a 7, that makes that a 3, and all the 3's go away. That's a 2 and a 7, and if that's a 5, boop, 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 boop. 3 and a 9, 6 and a 7, 6 and an 8. Well, do I need more paper? Maybe. Let's see, if we make that a 9, that becomes a 7, that becomes a 5, that becomes a 3, that becomes a 9. Those are 5s and 6s. Right, and if that's a 3, that's going to be a 7. No 7 there. I've got too many pencil marks on here because there's something, they should be fairly simple to see that I'm not seeing here. Let's see what we got. Let's see. what if do that? Let's see, how does that help? Okay, buddies, I found it. Found it. Okay. Woof! Staring at these numbers, I found something right here. I don't know if you guys saw it or not. Maybe you're pointing at it, yelling at me through the screen. When I look at this particular row, cannot have a 5 here, 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 and cannot have a 5 here. This cell is the only one, buddies, that can be 5 for that row. So, not sure how much that's going to help me, but I'm going to clean up some pencil marks and find out. We're going to get rid of that 5. We're going to get rid of that 5. Okay. 2, 7, and a 9. Very good. So our 9 is here. Okay, we now have a crisscross elimination for the 9s. Okay, what that means is, you see how there's no 9 down here, and there's no 9 down here. So that means in this cube, the 9 has to be down here, which tells me this one cannot be a 9. It's called a crisscross elimination. When you have 9s in these corners, if there's a 9 on the top, then there's going to be a 9 on the bottom, or the middle in this instance. Or if there's a 9 here in the middle, then the 9 has to be in the top. But right now, no 9 here, no 9 here, and no 9 here because of the vertical help. So the 9 has to be down here. So that eliminates 9 from being here. The only number left is a 3. Now that's going to help us over here with our 7 and our 3. Now we have a lot of pencil marks to clean up so I don't get myself caught up in my own markings here. So let me clean the 3, clean the 3, clean the 3, clean the 3, clean the 3. Now we just put the 2 3s in. This is now the only spot in the top row that can be a 3. I'm going to clean that 3 up. Now we're going to come down here and clean up these pencil marks, 3 and a 3. Alright, now we have that same crisscross elimination. Crisscross elimination is in the hard puzzles, folks. See right here how there's a 3 in the top and the bottom, not in the center? Check out this center cube. 3, top and bottom, not in the center cube. That means if this cube cell is a 3, that means there has to be a 3 down here in the bottom. If there's a 3 in the bottom, that means there has to be a 3 in the top. So that tells me over here the 3 has to be in the middle. This one can no longer be a 3. Okay? So we're just eliminating one more spot for a 3. That's good. And we have a 3 here, so no 3 goes here. So as we're looking left, right, and the crisscross elimination, this is the only cell left to be a 3. Okay? So crisscross eliminations in the hards and the extra hard puzzles, very important. I missed them, plus I was missing the 5, so that did not help. So let me look now and see if there's anything else that I can clean up. Let's see. No, we've got a 9 here. Got a 9 here, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 7 and 8. We have a 2 down here. Alright, okay, let me look at the numbers that I put in. See if there's anything else helpful here. Come on, brain, jump out. Get it. I know it's just sitting there staring at me. We'll get it here in just a second. There we go. 7. We put in a 7. This can no longer be a 7, which means that is now a 9. Alright, so we'll take the 9 out of here. No, take the 9 out. Oh, 5 and a 6. Bling. There we go. Take the 9 out. Right, gotta hit the right button. Alright, which tells me that there has to be a 9 here in the top. So that tells me this cannot be our 9, which only leaves me now with a 2. Now, if that's a 2, then this one is now a 7. Now this one is a 2. If this is a 2, that now makes this one a 7. And the only number left now that we have a 2 and a 7 is our 6. There we go, folks. We're going to just kind of keep cascading here with these numbers falling down. This 7 down here is now going to be a 3. And now we have a 3 and a 7. This number is now a 2. Alright, so we need to clean up our numbers here. We see that these two are now a 7 and an 8. I use the right button that time. Very good, very good. We cannot have a 2 up here anymore, which says no 2, no 2. And these are both 5s and 6s, which now locks it, which means there cannot be a 5 or a 6 anywhere else in this cube. And we also have this 6 over here that tells us now that this is a 9. And of course there is our 2. Now with this being a 5 and a 6, this cannot be a 6, which makes it a 7, which makes this is the only spot left for our 6, which now says this is not a 7, the only spot 9 and an 8. So these are just going to cascade and just help solve themselves out here. Now 8 is there, 7 is there. Okay, we have our 7 here, so now our 7 has to go up here. We only have one spot left for our 5. We only have one spot left now for our 3. We only have one spot now left for our 9. Okay, with a 9 going there, this one has to be our 5, which means this one has to be our 6, which means this one has to be our 9. Okay, we've got a 5 and a 6. We're going to swap those fellers out, 6 and a 5. And we have a 7 and a 2, and we'll just swap those fellers right there. Okay, so folks, what we take away from this puzzle is, again, hard and very hard puzzles use that crisscross elimination all the time. Very, very important to understand that and to know that what you're looking for. And to make sure to keep an eye on those pencil marks. I had so many pencil marks, I missed one that there was only one spot that could fit that cell. So look left, right, up, down, go through the numbers, take your time, enjoy the game. Feel free, please, to if you'd like, to pause it at the beginning, print it off, and play along. And maybe you'll get it way before I do. Maybe we could have a little contest. See who gets done first. So enjoy the challenge. Enjoy the fun. Thanks for watching, folks. Please feel free to leave any comments, suggestions, or challenges. And thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye.